I'm Ann Webb, Policy Director at Common Cause North Carolina, and these are 5 things you need to know about North Carolina politics this week. Number 1. The Republican-controlled state Senate on Thursday unveiled a sweeping elections omnibus proposal that would create harmful new restrictions on voting and place unrealistic burdens on election administrators. Senate Bill 747 would severely narrow the window for absentee ballots to be accepted, which could lead to thousands of lawful ballots being unfairly thrown out due to delays in mail delivery. The bill would also add unnecessary complications to same-day voter registration that could disqualify thousands of more votes. And as currently written, the bill would violate the privacy of North Carolinians by making voted absentee ballots public. We at Common Cause and our democracy partners will be actively working to defeat the anti-voter provisions in Senate Bill 747. Number 2, just days before that Senate bill was unveiled, CLeta Mitchell, a lawyer who aided Donald Trump's failed attempt to overturn the 2020 election, met with key Republicans in the state legislature. Many of her group's priorities are included in the Senate bill. Mitchell and her right-wing supporters are pushing a radical anti-voter agenda to place restrictions on ballot access around the country and here in North Carolina. Number 3.
What kind of power? People's power! What kind of power? People's power!
This week, members of the NC People's Power Coalition held a day of outrage at the legislature, protesting regressive policies being pushed by state lawmakers. Among the coalition's priorities were calls to defend voting rights and stop gerrymandering.
Defend!
Defend!
Our voting rights!
Voting rights!
Number 4. A report from the North Carolina Budget and Tax Center finds a correlation between funding for elections and voter turnout. Counties with lower than average funding for their elections also tend to see lower turnout at the polls. Right now, many counties are adopting budgets for the coming fiscal year, and the legislature is developing a state spending plan. We're working in a number of counties and within the legislature to urge budget writers to responsibly fund elections throughout North Carolina. Number 5. This week, the Republican-controlled state House pushed through Senate Bill 512, which would strip Democratic Governor Roy Cooper of some appointment powers for state boards and commissions, shifting many of those appointments to the legislature. A bipartisan group of former North Carolina governors earlier this spring issued a joint letter in opposition to taking appointment powers away from the governor's office, and the bill raises concerns about a power grab by legislative leaders that could weaken our state government's separation of powers.
I rise to ask that you vote against this bill because I believe that it is an unconstitutional infringement on the separation of powers.
After the House passed the bill along a party line vote, it now goes back to the Senate for consideration. Those were 5 things you need to know about North Carolina politics this week. Find us online anytime at commoncausенc.org.